Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to this channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Please, please subscribe to this channel, share, like, as well as drop a comment on the comment section. So today we are looking at political behavior. Political behavior. Now, political behavior is an aspect of political science that attempts to quantify and explain the influences that define a person's political views, ideology, and levels of political participation. Political behavior can be defined as a long standing attitudinal disposition built in and imbibed by individuals of a political society through the proper building of political culture and adequate transmission for guaranteed and sustainable stability. After the socialization process, people will start behaving in the ways they are socialized. Such behaviors will over time become part of the people's culture, thereby breeding political culture in the society. If a person has been socialized, that is that it is only through violence that they can you know that the you know that their grievances can be attended to. They will be left with no choice than to take to violence each time that each time there is a demand to be made on the political system. In the Now, don't forget that when we talk about political behavior, we are talking about actions regarding authority in general and government in particular. Now, this authority includes church, school, and any other, but in particular governmental authority. An obvious example of an act of political behavior is the act of voting. In casting your vote, you are in a democracy. Okay? You are in a democracy relating to government by voting for whom you feel should form the government. However, there are other acts of political behavior that we also need to identify, particularly because they are becoming more and more prevalent around the world. So what are these things? And these acts that they include the act of terrorism, militancy, etc. However they are painted, they are simply responding to the output of the political class. Now, if the society and indeed state has been living up to expectation and channeling the energies of all able-bodied young men in the right direction, there will not be the issue of Boko Haram or terrorism in Nigeria and other parts of the world. Okay, so terrorism itself is a political behavior because it is an act against the governmental authority that needs to be tackled. Now, political behavior has a correlation with both economic and social behaviors. There is a connection between political behavior and economic behavior in the sense that many people may choose not to vote in an election, okay, because and when people decide not to vote in an election, it is also an act of political behavior. Okay, they may choose not to vote because of a particular economic situation. For instance, whether they or their father, grandfather, and great grandfather before them voted, okay, that political behavior for some time has not changed their economic situation. Hence, they will naturally begin to have this disinclination towards voting. Therefore, the economic condition fits back into making them not to vote in subsequent elections. On the other hand, those who have not, you know, on the other hand, okay, on the other hand, are we there? Okay, those who have not been favored economically in the past will start taking part in politics once they start getting contracts, political appointments, jobs from the government, etc. If people are economically, distressed and frustrated, unable to find work, unable to purchase food, you know, they are okay, they are not likely in their social interactions with others to be gentle or understanding. Hence, you know, hence at this time they tend to be aggressive as a result of the frustration that the frustration with their inability to meet basic needs. Okay, so when we talk about political behavior, we are looking at certain positive behaviors and other and certain positive negative behaviors. Now the positive behaviors are actually when somebody is trying to exercise his franchise, exercise his rights, exercise the constitutionally declared right. Okay, when an individual actually goes out there to vote, when an individual actually grants press press interview, when a group of people protest, when a group of people actually make one demand or the other, they are doing what is known as political, that is, all of that is called political behavior. Okay, so the political behavior has input as well as output. The input is it comes in form of support and demand. Now if you pay your tax, if you obey the national if you obey national monuments, if you obey the rules and regulations, if you obey the fundamental human rights of the people, if you obey the laws of the land, what you are doing is actually you are supporting the government, you are supporting the political system. That again is a positive political behavior. Another positive political behavior is demand. Now when you actually when a group of people decides to actually make a protest, what is known as peaceful protest, if you decide to go on strike, if the group of people actually decides to say, look, if they place one demand or the other, such kind of demand is also positive demand. Okay, that's both demand and support are actually they are input into the political system, and they are part and parcel of what is known as political behavior. Okay, now there are also negative political behavior. Now the negative political behavior is actually the act of war, the act of violence, the act of terrorism, the act of maiming and killing, of the act of murder, the act of hostility. All of these are negative political behavior, but they are political behavior, okay, all the same. So political behavior comes in two forms, okay, support and demand. Support is actually when you actually pay allegiance to the government in place. You actually decide to obey the rules and regulations of the government or of the within the political system. Now there is also demand. Demand is actually when you demand for your rights, for your fundamental human rights to be protected. You demand that, okay, this thing is actually your right within the political system, and it must be given to you. Okay, now this demand can come in positive form or in negative form. Okay, now if it's in negative form, it is actually against the law. It goes beyond, it goes contrary to civility. But if it is actually a negative one, if it is a positive one, it is within the jurisdiction of the law. So you cannot not behave politically within a political system, because whether you are not acting or you are acting, that whatever you are doing, whether you are moving a muscle or not, it is also part of political behavior, because you can decide to be neutral, you can decide not to even participate. Not participating alone is also part of political behavior. Thank you very much.